Oh god, not bright side again. This video is going to be one big disaster.
Ooh, the ground below your feet is rumbling. You hear a scary roar in the distance.
How many times do I have to tell you, man? Dinosaurs do not roar. They bellow, they groan, growl, but they do not roar like mammals.
And think to yourself, okay, this is it. This is how I go. A large Tyrannosaurus Rex.
What in the world is this design of a T-Rex, bro? This is one of the worst T-Rex designs I've ever seen. The head is just too small, and I feel like the legs are just way too big, tall, and huge. Okay, at least the arms aren't pronated. I guess that's a plus.
Is heading your way. Its massive jaws wide open.
Man, that is one of the funniest roars that I've ever seen.
Creature is ready to swallow you whole.
It probably just size up first. Or maybe it doesn't even care about you at all. It just go for something else. This is not worth the energy, okay? If it's not hungry, it's not worth the energy killing its prey. And you are the prey. You're safe.
But only until a large ape
With a punch this hard, you think it would have broken the T-Rex's skull by now.
springs out of nowhere and blocks its path. That's the Gigantopithecus.
Dude, I thought this video was about King Kong, not Gigantopithecus. Also, the Gigantopithecus doesn't look like that. Gigantopithecus looks closer to an orangutan than a gorilla. And also, how is this battle even fair? The T-Rex could just simply bite the Gigantopithecus's neck and throw it around. All of that. How would a Gigantopithecus stand a chance? If it's actually King Kong being over 100 meters tall would just absolutely crush the T-Rex. Man, both of these scenarios, clickbait or not, they're just extremely unfair and lopsided.
It's an actual King Kong that disappeared around 100,000 years ago.
No, 300,000 years ago. Also, King Kong looks like a giant gorilla, not a giant orangutan. Gigantopithecus looks closer to an orangutan.
While the two creatures are trying to stare each other down,
Pretty sure Gigantopithecus would just back away. Why would it even dare to face something like a T-Rex?
you quietly sneak off to hide behind the bushes. The animals are out in the open plain. That's where the T-Rex has a home advantage. Tyrannosaurus Rex means king of the tyrant lizards, and the creature deserves its name. This giant dino stood around 12 feet tall.
But what you're showing here looks like it's 18 feet tall.
It was also as long as a school bus.
12.3 to 12.4 meters. T-Rex could grow up to lengths of over 12.4 meters. Let's just assume T-Rex is like 12.4 meters. It's actually longer than short length and medium length school buses. I don't know about long length school buses.
Stretching 40 feet from nose to tail. It lived around 68 million years ago
Didn't it also live to the end of the Cretaceous?
in North America. Thanks to the shape of its skull, the T-Rex probably had good vision.
Not just good, excellent. That's what you meant.
But scientists claim that the animal mostly relied on its strong sense of smell.
Dude, it also needs to see in order for it to hunt. It needs to know what's going to hunt. It's not going to foolishly plunge its own body into a Triceratops horn. Pair of Triceratops horns. Or even an Anki Club Smack.
When it hunted for food. The huge ape bangs on its chest and lets out a terrifying low growl. The Gigantopithecus is the largest primate that has ever been discovered. It lived in the tropical jungles of southern China and some areas in Thailand.
It has only been confirmed to live in southern China, although potential identifications have also been made in Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia.
When scientists discovered its jawbones, they noticed that the animal's teeth were meant to grind and chew. At the same time, the T-Rex had 60 razor-sharp serrated teeth.
Serrated. I've never seen anyone say serrated as serrated before.
Each about 8 inches long. Anyway, a 12-foot tall dinosaur and a 10-foot tall ape.
The around 12-foot tall dinosaur is just going to throw the ape around. Even something like a potential overestimate of 200 to 300 kilograms suggested by Ying-Chi Zhang and Terry Harrison would still just make the Gigantopithecus easily thrown around by the T-Rex. However, they both probably wouldn't fight in a real-life scenario. Sizing up is the rule. Gigantopithecus will just stand up and do... I have no idea. T-Rex will also try and make itself as big as possible. They both intimidate each other and then just walk away.
Are standing facing each other.
Dude, why aren't they sizing up at first?
The fight is about to begin. The T-Rex charges toward the ape. Its speed isn't really high, which gives its opponent enough time to duck and roll out of the way.
Could it actually roll like orangutans could roll? Maybe Gigantopithecus could, but it could be a bit too heavy to roll. Like, assuming an estimate of around 200 kilograms, Gigantopithecus could roll, but I doubt it would want to, at risk of hurting itself, similar to the case of Diplodocus's tail whip.
Good for the Gigantopithecus. It wouldn't be a pleasant experience to be at the receiving end of the T-Rex's bite. The dino had a bite force of at least 6 tons, and no wonder with such powerful jaw muscles. The T-Rex wasn't the fastest dino out there. It could only move at the average speed of 12 miles per hour.
A 2021 study suggested it had a top speed of 17 miles per hour. Man, I had to repeat that from the worst paleontology video to ever exist video.
But the creature was flexible and rather smart.
What do you mean rather smart? It is very smart. It is just a little less intelligent than a chimpanzee.
By the time the ape is back on its feet, the T-Rex is already charging at it. But the large ape manages to swing a punch at its opponent.
I read the comments in this video, and they are saying that there's no logic in this fight. Like, something Gigantopithecus, even if it's half a ton, which is probably a bit too much, it still gets just thrown around by a T-Rex and easily get crushed by the T-Rex's strength. The fight is also way too much in bias of Gigantopithecus. Punch, punch, kick, roll, roll, and flip. It almost seems that this ape honed its fighting prowess at a dojo, says another person in the comments.
Its incredible force almost knocks the dino out. At least, it's enough to make the T-Rex see some spinning stars.
Why isn't the Gigantopithecus going for the kill already? If you really want to win this badly, just go for the win. Don't just politely wait until your opponent can defend themselves.
Flying around its head. The animal's tiny arms aren't long
Oh god, please don't pronate its wrists.
enough to respond in kind.
Would it even need its arms? It only needs its head to fight, bruh.
If this was an arm wrestling match, the ape would surely win without breaking a sweat.
What is this supposed to be right now? Some kind of Owen Grady Jurassic World raptor stuff?
Actually, almost any animal could probably win hands down in an arm wrestling match against a T-Rex.
Stop joking about the T-Rex's small arms, come on. They're still quite strong, and if an ape gets punched by a T-Rex's arms, it would hurt them really bad.
But the dino hasn't been skipping leg day, that's for sure. Its massive limbs could probably squish a car, if there had been cars at that time. The ape sprints toward the fallen dinosaur, but gets smacked right in its face with the T-Rex's enormous tail.
Does it even use its tail to fight? I'm basically reliving the T-Rex vs. Spinosaurus video all over again. What even is going on at this point?
The ape flies upward. You have to throw your head back to watch its flight. And still, the animal manages to avoid any damage thanks to its powerful arms. The T-Rex has already risen and is now racing towards the Gigantopithecus. With nowhere to hide, the ape uses its long arms to hold the T-Rex's mouth closed.
Would the T-Rex just easily overwhelm the Gigantopithecus' strength?
Meanwhile, its opponent does its best to open its jaws. Soon, the dinosaur succeeds. It sinks its teeth into the ape's thigh and tries to shake the animal like a rattle.
Surprised that you didn't mention that it just broke the Gigantopithecus's thigh bones. Like, thigh bones are the strongest bones, but even they couldn't stand the T-Rex's crazy bite.
But the ape isn't that easy to defeat.
Dude, at this point, you're just making more excuses so that you could think that the Gigantopithecus could win against a freaking T-Rex. Something that is like, I don't know, over 20 times heavier than the Gigantopithecus. And that means it is over 20 times bigger than the Gigantopithecus. It's going to absolutely crush it and throw it around. It's just long story short, the T-Rex would just make a quick, easy snack.
It begins pounding on the dino's skull while keeping the T-Rex's mouth from moving. Now, keep in mind that this ape was at least 3 times bigger than the modern-day gorilla and weighed more than 1,000 pounds.
That's an overestimate, and what you're showing here doesn't look like a gorilla. What does it look like? I don't know.
And still, nothing seems to be helping. The ape is getting weaker. It's losing its strength. The animal then attempts to get rid of the dino's jaws on his thigh.
T-Rex, why aren't you just clamping your jaw shut?
It musters up all its energy and opens the T-Rex's mouth. After that, the ape quickly frees its leg from the teeth prison and breaks free. Without wasting any time, the creature throws several punches at the T-Rex.
At this point, it looks more like a karate or jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, kung fu, whatever. Is this Gigantopithecus supposed to be a martial artist or something?
Knocking it to the ground. Soon, the dino can barely stand straight without falling over. It attempts to run away and have a rest, but the ape is too persistent. It isn't backing down. The T-Rex weighed between 6 and 8 tons.
No, 8 to 9, possibly 10.1.
And the bigger the animal is, the harder it goes down. But throwing all those punches is wearing the ape down. It starts to slow down. This buys the dino some time to recover. Once ready, it pushes the ape onto the ground with its massive head and tries to stomp the opponent.
Or, I don't know, just go for the head, crush its skull. Ta-da! You have an easy meal.
The ape dodges and rolls out of the way. It even manages to grab one of the T-Rex's legs and flip the dino.
How in the world could something like a 200-kilogram ape be able to flip a 8 to 9 ton dinosaur this easily? This makes no sense whatsoever. How many newtons does it take? The T-Rex is around, I don't know, 90,000 newtons in weight? How on earth would the Gigantopithecus be able to overcome that?
Over.
And also, if it hit the ground that hard, why isn't its skeleton broken yet?
The ape's arms have become weaker after the struggle. The T-Rex manages to get up and bites down on the ape's shoulder. This tires the Gigantopithecus even more.
Okay, it kind of makes sense, since the T-Rex, being an intelligent predator, would need to figure out that it's going to have to get rid of the Gigantopithecus's weapons in order for the T-Rex to survive. So it kind of makes sense in a way.
Without being able to use its arms, there isn't much the animal can actually do. It seems the T-Rex has won this round.
This feels more like a boxing match to me than an actual fight between these two creatures. Do they even fight at all? The T-Rex would just absolutely destroy Gigantopithecus 100%.
You can use this small break to get away from the giant animals. You're now in the thick tropical jungle, and the humidity there is turning your hair into an afro. Suddenly, you see something large and dark lurking behind the trees. Out comes the Gigantopithecus.
Why does it look as fierce as before? Is it ready to fight again? Bro, this is a kamikaze mission. Don't.
Just great. Not again. This time, the creature seems to be
How is it still able to use its right shoulder? The bite would have just broken it by now, leaving the Gigantopithecus's right arm paralyzed.
ready for whatever comes its way. You see the trees in the distance move like ripples on a lake. The T-Rex pops out. It also looks ready for action. All you can think about is, why can't I just have a normal vacation? So you find yourself a nice comfy spot to get out of the way. Even though the Gigantopithecus was a native of the tropical jungle, studies showed this creature didn't climb trees. The ape was too large and heavy to climb trunks and swing from branch to branch. Instead, it gathered food from the ground and was tall enough to pick fruit from trees, which was its main diet. Scientists know for sure that the Gigantopithecus went extinct during the Ice Age. Climate change wiped out all of its favorite foods, and for some reason, this species didn't take to eating greenery, such as grass and leaves.
Okay, here's a problem. Gigantopithecus is considered to have been an herbivore. Carbon-13 isotope analysis suggests consumption of C3 plants such as fruit, leaves, and other forest plants. Leaves!
The T-Rex was definitely designed to eat meat. Its diet consists of basically anything it could get its tiny hands on.
You meant its diet is basically anything that it could get its jaws on.
The dino hunted animals and other dinosaurs, but it wasn't above scavenging. Oh look, they're at it again. But this time, it's the ape that has a strong home advantage. Even though it can't technically climb trees, it can easily squeeze through bushes.
But the T-Rex is agile and could figure it out. The T-Rex has the intelligence just a little less than that of a chimpanzee. How would it not be able to figure it out?
It also knows the jungle like the back of its enormous head. And the T-Rex has troubles navigating through the dense jungle. It keeps bumping into trees.
The T-Rex is agile, it's not that clumsy, okay?
The T-Rex looks lost. It can't seem to find the ape. It moves to grab a bite of whatever seems to be its opponent, but it's just a large bush. The dino gets angry and shakes it until only several branches and twigs are left. Meanwhile, the ape appears out of nowhere.
If the previous punches didn't break the T-Rex's skull, this slam would have. How did you survive such a hard hit? I know the T-Rex was meant to withstand heavy damage, but come on.
And throws a powerful punch. The T-Rex loses its balance and topples over. It tries to bite the ape, but misses. The ape keeps hitting the dinosaur. The T-Rex manages to swing it.
Look at the animation! Look at how they animated the tail! Man, what even on earth is happening?
Its tail and sends its opponent into a tree, breaking the trunk. Some fruit drop onto the ape's head. The animal grabs them and throws at the dino, trying to confuse it. But it's like throwing pebbles at a rock. The ape takes hold of a tree trunk and uses it as a shield to avoid tail swings directed at it. As soon as the trunk breaks, the ape catapults itself on top of the T-Rex, trying to wrestle the creature to the ground.
Dude, it's just like 2,000 newtons just trying to pin something 90,000 newtons to the ground.
The king of the lizards is crushed down by the ape's weight and can't find a way to free itself.
No, it can. Just simply roll to its side.
It tries to get out of the opponent's grip several times. Once the dino succeeds, it scurries away out of the jungle. The big ape is the winner. Victorious, it bangs on its chest. Now, how are you supposed to get out of here?
That's pretty much it. Man, they said King Kong, yet they showed Gigantopithecus in gorilla when it's not gorilla. The real battle is that there's no battle. The T-Rex just eats the sword, not the sword, the Gigantopithecus, and that's it. Yeah. That was another terrible video. Okay, next paleontology video review is going to be about Tirzu. The one that you've all been requesting for so long. But, of course, there'll be 3 more videos before the tier zoo video. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, and please do hit that like button, subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. See y'all next time. Peace.